Ian Miller shooting this, ladies and gentlemen. Do a little pan. Shoot over there by the stage for me, will you, Ian? It's the Bowser Nissan Theater. There's no business. Stop. Now go back around the same way. You don't want to show them all the magic. Now come in here.
What are you doing to this poor kid?
Hey, his mom loves me. I love him. He's a good kid. One of our CBS sales professionals did a great job. Katie K. Spaghetti Breakfast today. And now, here he is.
He was up at 4 in the morning.
So was I, but they do that at my age. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Hathorn, our sports director. I'm so excited to have a chance to talk to you. I was just about ready to leave, and I asked him earlier, and he was in the middle of doing all this stuff. He said, I can shoot that video now. And the question that I asked you, when it comes to recruiting, who really has more at stake, Pitt or Penn State?
Depends on how you sell it, right? Because I think Penn State can still win if they lose, because they can say, listen, we need some help, you can play right away. Pitt can say the same thing if you lose. Now, if you win, then you go in and you can brag about the game and you can say this or that. But I don't know if the outcome, styles of play, the way you handle yourself, the whole thing about the program, the ambiance, that plays, I think, as much into it as the final number at the end of the game.
Listen, you're an Ohio State grad, and Andrew Filipponi is going to be with me tomorrow morning, along with the rest of the fan crew. He will be as well. Art Rooney Way, beginning at 9 o'clock, big pregame. But he's going to join me, Andrew, at 6:30. He, of course, with Ron Cook every day at 10 on 93.7 The Fan. You two were talking about time of possession. I kind of heard in the distance. Why is that so crucial?
Huge. It's huge because Pitt has the advantage on offensive line. I mean, they've got some studs. Adam Bisnawati, Dorian Johnson, the locals are anchoring that offensive line. They've got to use that to their advantage. They need to control time of possession and just pound that ball old school. Because Penn State, believe it or not, for those who haven't seen Penn State this year, they're kind of a spread team. And they like to run a little bit of up-tempo. And they have some dangerous, fast players on the outside. Penn State needs to control it.
Listen, I don't know the program as well as you guys, but a couple of names that stand out. One is McSorley and the running back Barkley. Tell me about those two guys, quarterback, running back,
Well,
maybe lines.
you used to Christian Hackenberg, a pro-style quarterback, gets sacked a lot, and couldn't run. Trace McSorley can run. They don't want him to run. It's not an option. It's not a Terrell Pryor type thing. But he, if it's open, he'll burn you. And Barkley, I think, is the best player in the game as far as
Really?
an impact player. Saquon Barkley is a very talented running back. He had a so-so game in the first week. I'm going to chalk that up to him not being fully focused on Kent State, but he'll come in ready to play. I saw him tear up Ohio State, a very good defense. This kid can play tailback, and he's very dangerous. Pitt has to make sure they have contain on him because he'll beat you for big plays. Problem is they also have big play receivers. If they can get some heat, take McSorley out of his game, he's a young kid, rattle him a bit. Maybe they get a few turnovers and can change the tide of this game.
Sports Director, 93.7 The Fan, News Radio 1020, KDK, Jeff Hathorn. How key is Jordan Whitehead, not just against the pass, but the run, too, especially if Barkley gets into the second?
How about him running the ball, too? I mean, you're going to see him on offense. You didn't see it against Villanova because it was very vanilla of what Pitt showed. They weren't going to give any secrets away. So Jordan Whitehead on defense, obviously. He needs to play well. He needs to be responsible, just like everybody in that secondary. And what they have to do is use that defensive line, use what they've got in Juan Price, have Rory Blair come out with his hair on fire like he did in that first game. Tyreek Jarrett played well, and allow those linebackers to make plays. And then Jordan Whitehead in that secondary, he's a guy who can take an interception back to the house. He's one of the guys with top speed for the Pitt team.
Listen, and I'll just say this and we'll close it out. No matter what anybody thinks, it may not be the 80s all over again. And the greats that we all grew up with are gone as far as the lineups, the coaches, what have you. To me, this is still a huge game, and it's a great day for the city of Pittsburgh. Could be the largest ever in Pittsburgh. I was talking to Joe DeSteel for many years, public address announcer for the Panthers, does basketball and football. He said this could be the largest crowd ever in Pitt. If you look back, Oakland, as far as Pitt Stadium where they played, and now they could put as many, and according to Joe, 70,000 people at this game. It's a great day for Pitt football.
Yeah, and including the standing room, you can get to that. You can get to that level. Yes, I agree. It's a big day. These teams should meet. Is it the same as back then? No. The talent level isn't the same as it was in the 80s, and there's not as much on the line because it's not played at the end of the year. There's still plenty of season. Each team could still win their conference, so it's not as much as it used to be. But as non-conference games goes, it's obviously huge. And it is for the alumni. It's the alumni that want the bragging rights. The kids have never seen a Pitt-Penn State game. They don't know what they're talking about. They'll experience it firsthand tomorrow at noon.
So tell them again what you guys are doing on the radio tomorrow.
So we're starting at 9, Andrew Filipponi. I'm going to join him and do sports, 9 o'clock. from right on Art Rooney Avenue. And then
Nice.
at 10, Larry Richards starts pregame. Have a couple of interviews, including with Rod Rutherford, who, as you probably know,
Hot Rod.
scored the last touchdown and only touchdown in the last Penn State game, and not as a quarterback.
Has it been that long? 2000.
He was a freshman.
He was a stud, no
stud.
doubt.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Ron.
All right, folks, go home, have a great weekend, get some sleep, but get up early. And if you're not going to the game,
He's talking to you, Ian.
93.7 The Fan. And they have to be biased. They're journalists. I'm a fan. Let's go, Pitt!